I just don't understand how someone can have such a corrupted mind to be able to not see all children as humans because they are humans. They're not looked at as people because they are so small.
What are their interests? Their interests are not lying investigate the political. It's survival.
Hi, I'm Starsky Wilson, President and CEO of the Children's Defense Fund, and I'm excited to be here in St. Louis at Christ the King United Church of Christ, one of our Deaconess Foundation partner sites for CDF Freedom Schools in the area. I'm most delighted that I began my day in Harambe reading aloud to Freedom School scholars here, and that I get to listen to servant leaders later and parents and caregivers at the end of the day to hear what's going on with their children and how we might impact their lives. This work we're doing for the next few weeks at sites across the country will help to inform the public policy agenda and advocacy CDF does all year. And so we've said for many years that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, through this campaign, the village speaks and CDF listens.
It's like the shooting in Texas, like that is still so sickening to me, how all of the things that could have been prevented were not taking place. Like, I saw this one news article where it was like the police officers, children of police officers that were at the school, the police officers went to go get their children, but not the children of others, like the children of everybody else. And it's just little stuff like that. It's just like I just don't understand how someone can have such a corrupted mind to be able to not see all children as humans because they are humans. They're not looked at as people because they are so small and their brains are not developed fully or anything like that, but they have more complex thinking than most adults in this world. And then just the whole gun laws in general, like the ability for a 18-year-old to gain a military grade weapon is crazy. Yeah. And then the arguments for gun control are like the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, I'm using it to protect myself. What do you need an AK-40 to protect yourself from? What are you protecting yourself from? And then if you really look at it, the people that are needing quote-unquote protection are people that are living in gated communities, and they're able to get police assistance in 2.5 seconds. But the people, and then they're pushing guns into communities that police are patrolling 24/7, but they're abusing the power that they have because they're in these uniforms, and they just feel like, well, you're not on my level, so I can do whatever I want to. So it's just kind of like creating more boundaries, I feel like, for gun control. So
raising children today is hard. This is the question. What is happening in your community that makes raising children to thrive harder?
The people that you're addressing, our people, what are their interests? Their interests are not lying investigate the political. It's survival. It's crawling out the barrel. And so they dangle stuff in front of our face to get our interests elsewhere, and we won't focus. And then it's a lack of education.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say right there. Yeah.
I hope, but half the time I have to literally look up all of this stuff and try to disseminate and get a thesaurus and a dictionary to understand what the devil they say. That's discouraging. That's true. So a lot of people say they get it. They're supposed to go for it and vote for everything else. And the way that it's worded, you think you're going for something and you're going against it, or vice versa.
And you have to do U.S. government or whatever, but everything else is your choice of what you pick. So you're in school for 12 years, you get a year and a half of everything you need to know about politics for your life, where your whole life is going to be about politics.
So if you want to see change, you got to education starts to find whatever you instill in your kids. You won't instill it in the school and in the kids what you are the teachers. It got to be self-taught. You got to teach them Black history. You got to teach them where their ancestors originated from and understand the struggle of where they're coming from, so they can know where they need to fight.